and hard with the C words today.
Oh. Hello, and welcome to Fish, Chips and Irish Whips. Here today with your two favourite dog fuckers. It's me, Chips.
Dog fuckers.
And my popular friend, Fish. Hi, Fish.
You just call me a dog fucker.
I called us both dog fuckers. I'm trying new names. We were the two horny boys last week. Now we're two dog fuckers. At some point, we're going to come up with a really stellar little group name.
Like Dick and Balls.
We're not. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to come up with new ones each week until one sticks.
Dick and Balls.
It's
Dick and Balls stick.
It depends on the weather. No, that's the plan. I'm just going to keep coming with these brilliant names.
Wonderful.
Enjoy that.
Okay, well, someone has to.
Someone has to. I'm going to actually start again, weirdly, with some news this week.
Ooh. Another chance for some news theme. See?
Yeah, it's
like
good.
That. It was just then.
It was then. That was
then.
it. Or was it then? Or is it now? It was probably then. So, in the news this week, there was an altercation between Joe Hendry and Lionheart at an ICW show recently.
Nice informal way of putting it, an altercation.
It was an altercation.
It doesn't advocate blame.
It doesn't. I mean, there was a bit.
Yeah.
There was one blame, and then that was, Joe Hendry. Really. Basically what happened is Joe Hendry and Lionheart are obviously in a feud, which we've covered in bits during ICW shit. Yeah. But because of that, they're like trading insults on Twitter and, kind of taking it everywhere else. Or they're trying to at least have some real heat to it. And Lionheart called Joe Hendry apparently on Twitter. This was apparently deleted, so this part I've not seen the evidence of. This is speculation.
On Reddit,
this is Reddit speculation, but apparently Lionheart said something about Joe Hendry's girlfriend being a dog.
And the tweet was promptly then deleted.
Yep. But whatever happened anyway regarding that, then when Lionheart and Joe Hendry got in the ring together, Joe Hendry...
They did that thing where it looks like they're going to kiss.
Yeah, where two wrestlers stare and angrily talk to each other, but it happened for ages.
Yeah, it was uncomfortably long.
It took a very, very long time. But after that, they sort of tied up to start the match, and Joe Hendry didn't let Lionheart go from the corner, and it looked a bit sort of like pushy, maybe taking a few swings. It was kind of hard to see because we were just watching it on someone's recorded
like a
phone.
crowd video.
Yeah, but yeah, they look like they were doing a 4 count in the corner, and the ref counted to 4, and then just sort of stopped counting, even though the hold was not broken for another 20 seconds, and then they broke apart, and then Joe Hendry
kind of separated.
For a bit, and then Joe Hendry sort of went to the floor with Lionheart, and they sort of had
after
on the
being
ground.
Sort of slapped in the face.
Lionheart came back and was slapped him in the face, and then they sort of had a bit of a roll on the floor, and the match sort of ended at that point after the officials and security and shit separated them. And then the aftermath of this is that ICW have just randomly released a tweet a couple of days afterwards that just said Lionheart will not be appearing on our shows in the coming weeks or something. It was basically just them letting fans know that Lionheart wasn't going to be at any shows that they might be going to. Lionheart then did a series of tweets about in fact I'll get Twitter up
we have the actual tweets here.
Yeah, but he said some things about wow, go to work, get assaulted, get suspended from work, a day in the life of an ICW wrestler, fuck this. He's retweeted quite a lot of other people saying their own things about their sort of fun things about it, what is this bullshit, and what about Joe Hendry? From where we stood, it looked like he was equally or more so to blame, at ICW. And then he also released this long tweet, which was, I try hard to keep things simple these days and avoid getting into debates, but obviously this has picked up a bit of steam, so I feel obliged to reply. A comment was made, it got the desired reaction. Said comment clearly caused some offence. Cool, I get it. Not the first time and probably not the last. So how does that get dealt with? A quiet conversation behind closed doors to clear the air? No. Someone waits until they're in what is a professional working environment to try and prove a point to someone who is effectively allowing them to do so, not quite getting your arse handed to you, nor is it even close to what happened, but that's another story. Now, admittedly, I haven't always been the epitome of professional in my career, but at 34 years old and almost 15 years in this business, I simply tried to do my job to the very best of my abilities. Clearly that wasn't the case for the other individual. So I'll close on this. Not too long ago, I was in a feud with someone who went out of their way to embarrass and bury me at every turn because they wanted to look like the big man, and I promised myself that that was never going to happen again. So if it's a public display you want, then that's exactly what you'll get. So basically that was Lionheart saying he didn't want to take any shit about this, really, and that, you know, he was kind of done with that. But then Lionheart also has his own company, Pro Wrestle Elite, that Joe Hendry's not now in their Elite Rumble or something. Yeah, no, but like that makes sense. So basically, you know, it's been going across to these two sides, and basically, it looks real. It looks like a shoot. It looks like a shoot fight. It does. Because it's not very exciting. Basically, that's the way I can tell if a fight is real. If it's not very fun to watch. But yeah, like a lot of people, it seems, are quite divided on whether or not if it's a shoot or a work. Yeah, but then once again, that's just Reddit commenters. Yeah. So, but like, it's just, comments on the internet. So take what you will. Yeah, but basically, the end result seems to be that Joe Hendry was a bit of an unprofessional dick and did something kind of gross. So, boo Joe Hendry. You weren't good this time. You may be a local hero, but you're also a bit of a local twat now. I'm not saying anything because my heart is broken. I know. We had a conversation off the air about this first, and I had to stop Fish from victim blaming Lionheart for a while because he doesn't like Lionheart and he really likes Joe Hendry. I don't like Lionheart because of the transgender remarks he makes. Yeah. No. Because he seems a bit gross. He does seem a bit gross. And offensive. Yeah. But not in the good way. Not in a good way. But no, this wasn't very... We need to watch that back to double check that it was definitely like a gross trans thing. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. We both recoiled. Yeah. No, we did. That's true. But yeah, no, that's basically our news this week. A bit of a gross British altercation. We'll see what happens in ICW with Lionheart in the future, and Joe Hendry, and in other promotions and shit. Like, I don't know if Lionheart comes back before the big match at Barrowmania. Yeah. I don't know, it kind of seems like it depends what happens. I mean, it depends if they even still have the match, or... I mean, I assume Lionheart's Twitter will tell a bit of a story about what happens next, because he's being very vocal about it, which is fair enough. I'm kind of glad he's being. It's better to... Joe Hendry also did like a apology, but it was to basically everyone but Lionheart. I don't think we mentioned that. He was like, sorry fans and the company. Yeah, so like, I mean, it's good that he's apologised, but it didn't seem that the right apology. But yeah, no, it wasn't the best apology. It wasn't perfect. It was an apology. Yeah, but that's our news this week. Next week, hopefully, we'll have some news that's a bit less gross. That'd be nice. Maybe it turns out they were friends after all. Oh, it turns out they're also like tag team champions in another company, so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah, that'll be fun to see. We'll keep you posted on any news about this though in the coming weeks. Maybe we'll actually have a news segment. Oh my god, a regular news segment. Shit, fuck me. Jesus. Well, continuing the segments, what about the weight of a wrestler in stone, the most popular segment of the show?
That sounds interesting. Okay, well, this week we have Cody Rhodes.
Good old Cody Rhodes. Good old
Cody Rhodes, the grandson of a plumber.
99.79 kilograms, which is 15.5 stones.
Oh shit!
He's only a little boy, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's quite small.
Compared to like wrestlers, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not bad. That's not overly heavy. He's continuing this not overly heavy trend. Next week,
Robert Van Dam was quite heavy, wasn't he?
He was quite heavy.
He was about 18 or something.
No, I'm not sure. We'll have to listen back.
Yeah, we will. Well, no,
not that we don't keep a record of all this important stuff. Next week, we'll continue this trend of smaller people with the one and only Sean Waltman, a.k.a. Six-pack, X-pack. Right, finally, as promised, we have our Progress 13
So-
review.
Unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jeff. What's unbelievable about this is that we have been meaning to do this for literally a month.
Yeah, I watched it a month ago. I can't remember a fucking thing.
Yep. And then the square go, like, I delayed it a week for some reason. I don't remember what. And then it was the square go, and then other things kept coming up. So we basically did everything but this. But today we will cover Unbelievable Jeff.
But you did get some like great content that was from the car.
Great car recorded content.
Yeah.
The perfect way to add content to a podcast, record it in a noisy environment.
Moving at speeds down the motorway.
While someone's having to concentrate on driving more than putting out quality content. That was perfect. This is the Progress that's free on YouTube for anyone. So if you want to watch a free Progress show like we wanted to, then you can do it. And you go on. The reason it's free is because the hard cam, it like died or something.
Yeah, it broke at some point during the show. So
they don't have any hard cam footage, which means that it's a really interestingly filmed wrestling show, and I think both of us kind of enjoyed it a lot.
Yes,
mainly.
There's a lot of cool camera angles that they've done
that you don't usually get a chance to see,
and they look awesome. Like a lot of it was sort of, it was either filmed between like the bottom and middle rope or the middle and top rope.
Yeah.
But it kind of like framed the shot, and it looked quite cool.
It was really interesting. It was just like, it was cool as well, just because of how different it was. Yeah. The only problem, and why I wouldn't want this to happen all the time, is that I would like entrances to my wrestling. There's literally no. There's what, one entrance? It's in the Bala and Sabre Jr match. So that's the one, but you don't get any entrances otherwise. And there's one moment in one match where you can't see what's happening very well.
Yeah, no, there's like a big fight on the
entrance ramp thing,
and I believe the table gets broken.
Yep.
Maybe.
No, I believe that's correct, but we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, other than that, it's actually a cool way to watch it. We opened, by the way, with a comedy skit involving sports presenter Kris who is sort of like the reason it's called Unbelievable Jeff.
Yeah, I thought it was. I just can't remember the actual reason. I think he just used to say it.
He says like, "Oh, it's Unbelievable Jeff," when, commentating on football and that.
On the football.
He's such a famous sports presenter that I knew who he was.
Yeah, I knew who he was.
That's like that's how you can tell someone is a well-known personality in sports, because neither of us are gonna fucking know. I mean, I know we do a sports podcast, but let's face it,
only on a technicality.
Only due to technical reasons. But I mean, we can watch a sport that also has fun soap opera moments.
Yeah, and people get like hit with chairs and
other things that are much more amusing.
Loads of weird backstage politics.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was kind of a cool skit though. It was to do with, I think there's like a member of staff who got the Progress fans to chant "This is Progress" and say "clap" instead of clapping. Was supposed to be like, and he was trying to make sure that like that didn't stick around forever, but obviously that's going to stick around forever, and it was kind of like part of the goof, but it was like kind of a cool, funny skit.
Yeah, that was cool.
But we opened with Rampage Brown taking on dazzling Darrell Allen.
Do not remember this match.
Basically, Darrell Allen, it was supposed to be Marty Scurll, but I think he got like injured or had to be somewhere else or something. I don't remember the details.
Awesome. I would have seen that.
Yeah, but that would have been a cool match. But instead they got this very small this guy who, in brackets, when I first saw him, I wrote "little boy." Darrell Allen, but he was pretty good.
That's his gimmick name,
Little Boy.
Little Boy.
That would have been great. I'd have been rooting for Little Boy.
Good old Little Boy.
Allen was like a bit kicky though and high flying. He was quite cool, really. It was, I think. At this point, I should probably mention a few things about the show, other than the camera angle that we got to notice, like no crowd barrier.
Oh, no crowd barrier. Jesus Christ.
I would be so scared at Progress.
You'd expect, like, if there's no crowd barrier, that no one would come flying over the top, like no one would do any suicide dives. No, there's probably more than there is in an average wrestling show.
There really is. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if Progress now have crowd barriers or not. I kind of assume that at some point they have to take the plunge.
Yeah, invest in some metal railings.
I have watched a bit of a Progress show before this, and I don't remember noticing no crowd barriers, so I kind of assumed they were there.
Yeah.
But
But like it's weird because you see all these like indies in like America and Japan and that don't have crowd barriers, but the people are seated far enough away from the ring that it's not an issue.
The people aren't sat closer than crowd barriers would normally be.
I'm pretty sure, like, I'm one of the later matches, someone, like, taps the ring as well, like a fan stands up, because within reaching distance of the ring, and, like, taps on the mat to try and wake someone up.
Oh my god, well, yeah, I can believe that happening because of how close they were.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting to watch, though. It was an interesting dynamic. I mean, I just wouldn't want to be there in the front row. I'd be scared.
The people that go to, well, probably early Progress shows must learn to get the fuck out of the way really quickly.
You've got to pay very close attention to the match. No, that was really weird. But no, yeah, this match, this was like, I think it was a pretty quick match, really, but it was like your standard sort of more high-flying, quick opponent versus
Rampage.
Power Rampage. But
Rampage.
But Rampage, you know, took a few high octane moves, like a few Ranas into the crowd. That happened. Someone got hit by a bit of a Rampage.
Jesus Christ.
But in the end, Rampage won with his pile driver.
I was going to ask if he like had the pile driver at that point, because he does brutal power.
He does.
Drivers.
And the pile driver is always a good finisher, and it works for Rampage. Rampage is awesome.
Yeah, I do like Rampage.
We always talk about liking Rampage.
Yeah, I was thinking today because I watched one of his matches earlier on today.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a gimmick. He's not even like a heel or a face.
No, he's like just sort of
a bastard heel, but he's somehow really over, and he doesn't really do a lot.
He doesn't do anything that
he's just
heelish apart from like
intense.
very early WCVW when he tore up a cardboard belt. That's about as. That was when they actually tried to push him as a heel for a bit and then gave up on that idea.
Because everyone liked him.
Because everyone likes him too much. Because he's really good. But no, I think that was a fun match. Obviously, you won't remember. It was a bloody month ago.
It was a bloody month ago. I've slept like 30 times since then. Probably more, to be honest.
Probably a lot more. I know you well enough. Next up, we had babyface Pete Dunne.
That's so weird.
With his little waistcoat.
Fucking hell, so weird.
That was bizarre to see. I think he's still a babyface in some companies like now, though. So
really?
Yeah.
Pete Dunne. Fucking hell.
Which is weird. But no, he's a babyface here, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's hard to understand. I don't think, for most of this match, I don't think I realised he was supposed to be the babyface. I assumed it was just like, that both of them were kind of well-liked. But like, I think it was later on in the show when I realised that he was supposed to be a babyface because he comes in to make a save.
Yeah.
But no, in this match it hadn't clicked yet. He was against Robbie X,
which I've never heard of before.
But he was really good.
Yeah,
he was really cool. He was like a cool high-flying guy. He had a cool beard. It was just nice. This was part of the Natural Progression tournament, which is a tournament for like newish talent, I think, to get a title shot.
Oh, cool!
Which is
That's
really
a good idea.
Yeah, it is. But it's also got a good name because Progress.
Yeah.
And but it's weird because Pete Dunne was in it.
Yeah.
But, like, I guess he was a newish talent back then, really.
He does look like a young boy.
He does. He is only a young boy. But not a little boy. That would be gimmick infringement. Yeah, the winner of this tournament gets like a title shot later on. But last year's winner was Mark Andrews before this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
They said on commentary, so
didn't know that.
That's kind of cool. But yeah, cool idea for a tournament. Everyone loves a tournament in wrestling.
Well, tournaments are pretty damn cool.
It
makes it seem like more legit rather than just a lot of people that are angry at each other.
Yeah, there's like actual stakes and
there's
like a real sport.
Whoa!
Hey, we're sports podcasters. This is as real as it fucking gets.
Yeah, it's pretty real.
This is real. I just watched Joe Hendry and fucking Lionheart. It seems real to me.
Have a slight tackle.
have a boring to watch tackle.
See, that would be normal in rugby.
It would. I mean, not the punchy parts.
No one would get suspended.
No.
If it was rugby.
But this ain't rugby.
Well, it ain't. No, yeah. It's a different sport.
We don't cover rugby. We'd be bad at that. I'd assume we'd be very awful.
We'd be worse at that than we are at this, which is saying something.
We'd be a lot worse. Maybe we should do a special episode.
It's comic relief coming up. Let's cover some rugby.
We'll do a rugby podcast. Oh my god, that'd be awful. I kind of feel like we should do that as a one-off at some point. But comic relief's too soon, and I don't actually want to do it that much.
I don't know. It's only, how long's rugby? Like half an hour?
I don't know. I assumed it was football's an hour and a half. I assumed it was kind of long.
What? I don't know. I don't know.
I used to go to rugby matches in real.
But how long were they in real?
I don't really. I was only little, and I used to play running up a hill instead.
Lyle and his favourite game of running up a hill.
There was a good hill near that rugby.
Is it the one? Oh, I know which one you're on about.
Yeah, they had a hill at the side. It was fun.
Round where you used to live.
Yeah. No. So I didn't really I didn't watch the rugby. I didn't care.
Well, I used to go to cricket all the time. Mm-hmm. And climb the fence behind the cricket club and escape.
Let's not talk about cricket, which lasts for literally 6 hours.
At least if we covered rugby, we wouldn't be experiencing that long, boring, drawn out time. I know, enjoyed it. I just used to climb on the roofs behind the cricket club. Yeah. So our experience in watching sports involves us trying as hard as possible not to watch sports, it seems.
Doing something else while sports is on.
Yeah. Maybe we could do that though. We'll put rugby on in the background and
just run up a hill.
We'll find a hill. So this match was a really cool match. Robbie X was cool and high flying. Pete Dunne was weird, just your sort of standard bruisery Pete Dunne ways of doing things.
Less angry
but a bit less aggressive. Angry. Weird though, because his style still was hard hitting and more heelish than you'd expect. He did loads of the Robbie X guy did loads of head scissors. The drop kicks in this match from Robbie X were really hard hitting. It was really noticeable when he did a drop kick that it felt like it really connected. Whereas drop kicks usually just look like no one really touches each other much.
Yeah.
But no, that I noticed that especially in this match, and it was really cool. Robbie X had a very red face, and the crowd chanted, "You've got a red face on your face."
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I do remember Robbie X now.
Yeah, he had a red face.
He had a red face on his face.
He had a red face, and it was on his face.
That's almost as bad as you've got bin bags for your pants.
Yeah, but they
kind of do the same tune.
It was, yeah. It was, in fact, that tune. But no, it was... in Progress, they seem to do those sort of chants, but everyone actually enjoys doing them, and it's not just one person being a dick. There was a really cool, ridiculously high springboard moonsault. More things like that, and just more high flying things. There was a shooting star press at one point, one of those sort of running ones, where they do it from standing.
Yeah.
And he got the ending of the match was a moonsault, which Pete Dunne got his knees up for, and then hit an underhook power bomb and turned it into a clover leaf, and ended up with him tapping out. But it was a really cool ending sequence. But
I vaguely remember
really
that
cool.
One. Yeah,
really cool match. Robbie X seemed really good, and I'd literally heard nothing about him before.
Or since.
So I wonder if he's still a thing.
He might be.
He seemed cool. He had a red face on his face, I hear.
Well, maybe he retired because he was sick of being called a red face.
I mean, maybe you would.
Well, yeah, you would. If you got that every night, then that's
True that.
Pretty.
Shut up, ugly voice.
Shut up, Elmer Fudd. I've spent most of today calling Fish Elmer Fudd because he shaved his beard and just looked like Elmer Fudd. Apart from one point today where we took a photo of him and it looked like he had a Down syndrome, so I called him Down syndrome Elmer Fudd. But basically all today has been berating Fish.
I just need to know where we draw the line. So we're angry at Lionheart.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
For saying,
that's right, yeah.
Transphobic things.
I know, I don't see your problem so far.
Okay.
That was not anything disrespectful to anyone with Down syndrome. The photo just made it look like you very much had Down syndrome. And if Elmer Fudd had Down syndrome, that would be funny. Well... Well, part of that may have been. Let's not take that part out of context, or in context, or ever talk about it again. Well,
This is going on the internet, man.
they'll love it. They love shit like this.
This is a fucking scandal.
It's fine, we're not famous enough for it to be a scandal. It'll just be a scandal in our future if we ever do get famous enough.
Which you won't.
Which we
Oh,
won't.
yeah, that's
Which
true.
will almost definitely not happen, so it'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I'll take you for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly. Next match in this. It always feels so weird when you move swiftly on. But we should. We definitely will. Next
We
up,
don't need to go down that fucking rabbit hole.
next up we had Eddie Dennis versus Michel Gilbert.
Where Mikey Whip wreck.
Yes, but Michel Gilbert's in
Michel Gilbert.
this particular promotion / time.
Ooh.
Michel Gilbert was a very annoyed looking man who
Yes, he
wanted
was.
to take everything seriously,
Yes, he thought there were too many gimmicks in wrestling or
and
something.
he shouted serious wrestling a lot and had plain black trunks. And Eddie Dennis is Mark Andrews' tag team partner and is an actual funny person in wrestling.
Yes, he is. I feel like there's quite a lot of them in British wrestling. Rather
Yeah,
than,
you don't just have like R-Truth and
yeah. R-Truth's kind of funny.
he can be
Goldust
kind of
can-
funny.
Kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, but it's never the same sort of like. It never feels like legitimate funny.
Stone Cold
Almost, you
was
know what I
funny.
mean?
Have you been mean to our truth?
Okay.
You know I won't stand for that.
Oh, it's comedy. The comedy of R-Truth is basically just the dancing black man.
No, what about when he was saying you can't kick a baby elephant?
What about the
that was
time-
on Swerve?
What about
Yeah.
the time in another match? I can't remember what kind of match it was, but he got out a ladder and started to climb it. I think it was the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
I think it was
'cause
a
he
Royal
thought it was a
Rumble.
ladder match. Yeah,
That was
Okay.
pretty funny.
he's okay.
Yeah, good.
He's awesome.
He's more spot funny. He's like a spot monkey for funny moments, though. Whereas,
Think about what you just said.
let's not think about that too much. That's a phrase. That's not my fault. It's not everything that's offensive in this show is my fault.
You and Lila Finn next.
I don't know if it goes on any longer. I don't think this is usable.
Hello and welcome to Fish Chits and Irish Whips, the not offensive podcast that's gonna be okay now. Oh, that part did not need to be offensive. You made that offensive.
Whatever, bro. Jesus.
Should we just stop now? Should we just leave
No,
it
this
here?
is perfect. This is what the people want. Probably. Definitely made that offensive. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about you trying to blame that on me. You victim blaming again. He's always doing this. Alright. Okay, we can do this. Everyone can stop the offensive
Wow,
segments
maybe
now.
you should think and how it affects other people before you speak.
I do think it was you who made it offensive. We all know. They know. We know.
Says the man who mocks Down syndrome.
I didn't mock it. I merely stated similarities. I merely stated certain similarities. In the same way I stated certain similarities between you and Elmer Fudd. And that's fine. We'll all say that's fine. I think bringing attention to it extra is probably not helping anyone here. Mainly me. What we were talking about, though, is that Eddie Dennis is a funny man.
Eddie Dennis is a funny man.
Yeah. As he is.
He
He's also from Wales, and I've not said anything nasty about that. I've not mentioned sheep once. So really.
Wait. I liked.
I can tell you how sheep shagging apparently
Oh,
works.
what? Okay.
Okay.
So,
Not
Yeah.
not related to Wales. That's fine.
no,
This is
you
just a
mentioned
standard
sheep,
thing.
so you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, you get the sheep's back legs and put it in the wellies.
I have heard you say
Oh,
that
And then
before.
it can't get away.
Well, that got dark.
This is
What?
another fun segment of the podcast.
Yeah.
Have you got a bleeper? Can you bleep most of this podcast? Can there just be a solid bleep in the middle and we'll just say...
That was a friend at school whose dad was a farmer.
Did he tell you
that?
that?
From?
Well, you must have had some experience. Probably.
Why did he tell people that?
Well, no, it was his daughter that said that, which is possibly even worse.
Oh, that is worse. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Dennis is a funny man.
He is a funny man, isn't he? Oh, that Eddie Dennis.
Like, he at some point he brought out a luchador mask.
Yep, that was.
Have you got anything to say about that, Lyle?
Yeah, just like it was good when he did that, wasn't it?
Was that acceptable?
It was.
Okay.
There's nothing. That was a racially charged thing he did, and he thinks he's funny. Mate, I think this is fine. I think what we've said's probably not offensive either. You've consented by doing the podcast. If you upload this is your fault. You're the one who's put this out there.
Shit, you've got me.
I do.
Actually, no, because I'm in Scotland for like a couple of days, so I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, well then it'll be my fault.
Yeah.
Shit. Never mind. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Does the great promo where he says he's now Eddie Mysterio Jr. and puts on a Rey Mysterio mask. I think it's legitimately a Rey Mysterio mask. I don't know if as opposed to being a luchador mask. That obviously annoys serious man Michel Gilbert.
Michael, you can't be serious if you're not called Gilbert.
He is. Everyone chants Gilbert like Goldberg as well.
Or Gilberg.
Or Gilberg. But they certainly chant it in a way that is supposed to annoy him. The serious wrestling thing happens a lot where Gilbert tries to get them to do serious wrestling. At one point, Eddie Dennis hits a 6-1 knee because he can't do a 619 because he's too big.
I know, that's Cesaro
It
does it.
But this was before Cesaro had done a 619, so he decided that it was okay to say that. And I agree, he shouldn't have to be able to do a 619.
Yeah.
But no. But then, as he did it, he literally said, "That's all I can do," which was great. But Gilbert ended up winning with a quick bridging roll up, and it was obviously like, boo, Gilbert's not very good. Gilbert. No. Michel Gilbert's character was kind of shit and annoying, but it was kind of supposed to be, so I probably felt the right way about it.
Exactly.
So
there you go. That's how I feel about heel Pete Dunne.
Yeah, it's true. But
I quite like Pete Dunne now.
Yeah.
But he annoys me.
He does. You especially didn't like him that first British tournament time.
Mm.
But no, this match was this was a decent match, but it kind of got drawn out and was a bit too long, which, can happen. But it was literally I think it was about a 15 to 20 minute match, and it wasn't the sort of match that needed that.
No, it had a couple of funny spots, but it wasn't really, the best wrestling showcase ever.
Yeah, totally. So no, but that was that match. Now we don't have to talk about anything else that happened while we were talking about the match. We just spoke about the match, and that was it, wasn't it?
Just the match.
The next match was the tag team number 1 contenders match,
which was awesome.
Which was fantastic. Unfortunately, there was one thing about this match that would have made it a lot better, and that would have been entrances, because to start with especially, it was so hard to understand what team was called what, and...
I already kind of knew a lot of the single competitors.
Yeah, me too, but there were a few where I was but where I'd know Will Ospreay obviously on that team, but I didn't realise that their team was going to be called the Swords of Essex until now, so it made it a little harder for me.
The one that I was confused with was Shaw Samuels and London Riots, because he's from London.
Yeah.
So I just assumed he was the London Riots.
But he was instead in Screw Indie Wrestling.
Yeah.
Which also, he is an indie wrestler and shouldn't be in that team.
Oh,
but
yes,
I guess everyone is. That was a strange team. And there's probably some context to that.
Probably.
We'll assume that context is something that's in that. But the teams were the London Riots, who are angry Londoners.
Angry Londoners.
Project Ego.
Which has got my favourite man in.
And also had Chris Travis in.
Mm.
Do you know the story of Chris Travis? Do we have to cover this for the first time in...
We should probably, yes.
We probably should.
I think he's died?
He's like, yeah,
He
he's the
died?
indie wrestler who
Is he?
like died, and it was really sad. And he was supposed to be an awesome guy, and he was also like a really he was like also really talented, and yeah, that happened. It was like last year.
Shit, really?
Yeah. It was like he had cancer and it went away and then it came back, but like a lot of people did like dedications and shit to do with him dying. There was Finn like dedicated his an NXT victory to him.
Fuck.
Who else did it? Noam Dar dedicated his CWC performance to him. Will Ospreay, the Super Juniors tournament. Like there were just a lot of people who were like dedicating things to him because like they all loved him.
Oh, he
So
did
it's
seem like
very
a
sad.
nice bloke.
He seemed like a nice bloke and was also really good. Like because I hadn't ever seen him before this match, but I knew the name and was like, oh, that's him. And then I watched it and was like, well, shit, he was also awesome.
Yeah.
He was also really good.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, but that was the Project Ego. Screw Indie Wrestling had Shah Samuels in his Progress debut. This was they mentioned,
Really?
yeah, which was
No way.
weird. They had there was the sort of Essex was the Ospreay team. I think have we covered everyone? I think that's everyone.
Yeah, I think
But yeah, and the London Riots they mentioned on commentary. Oh, the commentary.
yeah, just one dude.
Well, just one
It's
dude,
awesome.
and it was really good.
Yeah.
He was really good at it.
Yeah.
Some of the better commentary, really. But no, that was cool. Yeah, but the Riots, the London Riots, anyway. The commentary mentioned were aligned with Havoc.
Dunne Havoc.
Yep. So yeah, Jimmy Havoc has
Angry emo Londoner.
the angry emo Londoner, who is awesome. Who we will see in action later on.
We will indeed.
Maybe not that much later on. So basically, this was a really good match.
It was a very good
It
match.
was really cool. There was loads of awesome people in it. Like Shah Samuels was his usual brutish, slappy self. We had his partner seemed pretty good, who I don't remember the name of.
But he looked like Noel
But he
Edmonds.
did look like Noel Edmonds. And they made reference to that. I think the crowd might have even chanted something to do with that
Yeah.
at one point, which was pretty good. Will Ospreay was really good.
Will Ospreay is always really good.
His dirty little rat boy partner, he looks like a dirty little rat boy, that's what I call him, was also really good when he was supposed to be being like a face. Like he was still quite high flying and cool as well. But no, he was alright. Kirby and Travis were both really good.
I love Kirby.
As a team, those two were awesome as well. I just felt like they really worked together.
But like, what? Because there's this like your first exposure to Martin Kirby in a match.
Pretty much, especially in this podcast, especially. But like, I think I'd seen him maybe have like a match and not really enjoyed it like a year ago or something. But
Like, what did you think of him? What?
I thought he was really good in this match. I enjoyed him in pretty much every way. To be honest, I thought he was like good in ring really, and thought he did some like fairly funny things as well. It wasn't like. He wasn't like a standout, but there was so many talents in the match. But he was definitely someone who I was like, oh, you're really cool. But
Awesome.
I am excited to see more of him, and I'm sure I'm going to see rather a lot of that.
I hope so. Because
Yeah.
I'm still going to try and get you to watch that 5-way match.
Yeah, maybe we'll add that to the
Do
next.
that. Watch that while I'm on holiday.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay, yeah, we'll add that to the next podcast. That can be like a starter. Um,
An aperitif.
yes, very much so. Brilliant. Travis to tag in at one point slapped Martin Kirby on the head for the tag because he is a bald man.
He is.
And that was quite funny.
That was funny.
Travis did like loads of really quick kicks and ranas. He was like isolated for ages, Chris Travis, which was really cool. Like it was, but like I think multiple people from different teams even got tagged in, like the indie wrestling guys and the Sword of Essex.
The dirty little rat boy.
With the dirty little rat boy. Everyone else. Oh, they chanted. The Noel Edmonds guy also got a chant of "Evil Jesus," which was really good.
Jesus.
Noel Edmonds does kind of look like an evil Jesus already. To be fair, if you squint and think he had longer hair,
Yeah. Noel Edmonds is a piece of shit.
he is. We're not afraid to say that Noel Edmonds is a piece of shit on this podcast.
No, Noel Edmonds is a real piece of shit.
Yeah, he is. Oh, what an awful man.
He's the worst. Fuck Noel Edmonds.
Fuck Noel Edmonds. Everyone got involved in like a massive brawl in the end. After it sort of all broke down essentially.
Well, yeah, no, it had a semblance of, structure for way longer than I was expecting.
Yeah, me too. But like the brawl, I thought the brawling looked really good. I feel like there wasn't many people sort of stood around not knowing who to fight. Like how in rumbles and stuff like that, there'll always be somebody just walking.
Like walking between them, going, "Oh, who do I punch?"
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like that happened at all in this match. It was a really cool, like everyone fighting, everyone brawl, and I really enjoyed it. It ended up with like a lot of people spilling over to the outside and doing then like suicide dives. Both of Project Ego launched the little rat boy at everyone outside for like a massive jump. It was really cool. Ospreay hit like a 450 corkscrew onto everyone because of course he did. This was all obviously right in front of all the crowd as well. Like, although I think everyone like ran away at one point.
I'm not fucking surprised.
Yeah. And then they sort of did the usual all hitting their finisher-y big move things in the ring, which is just like such a standard spot, but I literally never get bored of it. I always think it's kind of cool in like a mayhemish match to just see everyone do that.
No, I do like it.
But no, in the end, after all this, Project Ego and Screw Indie Wrestling were both counted out while they were brawling outside. So it went from 4-2, which was like the match had been going on for ages at this point as well. Like they had a long time where no one was eliminated. So I kind of liked the idea that two teams would just disappear at once.
Yeah, no, I quite liked it, but I really wanted to see more.
Yeah, me too. And like they were also both teams I didn't want to be eliminated yet. Like they were probably my two favourites.
Yeah, mine too.
So, like that was the unfortunate side effect of this. But I do like the idea of there being two teams eliminated at once, so it wasn't just like dragging it out after the lack of a first elimination. The normal tag match was still really cool as well, where like London Riots were sort of the brawlers of them, and the Swords of Essex were the high flyers. It was a little bit like slow going at first, especially after how fucking fast paced it had been before that. I don't know if it's really fair to.
Yeah, no, because I felt like that when I was watching it, and then I realised that it was pretty good still. But...
Yeah, no, it was, and I think it picked up a lot more as well. Ospreay's partner, the Rat Boy, who is called Paul Robinson, by the way. But he's the Rat Boy to me.
Little Rat Boy.
Little Rat Boy. But he left him, dived out the way of a tag, and
he did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. And it was 2-on-1, and it was really cool. Ospreay hung him for way longer than I expected for the 2-on-1, which was cool to watch because it made him look good. But like the London Riots also didn't look like idiots for not being able to beat one person on their own, because like it was kind of like last ditch offensive, like just trying to survive. But it was really cool. Like he kicked out of their finisher, the District Line. Of course, it's called the District Line.
I don't know what it means.
It's like a tube reference, isn't it? Because London. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't get it.
Well, we're not from London, you won't get it.
Well, they've lost me.
They've lost your attention. we're not used to these
Londoners coming over here with their trains, underground trains.
Underground trains, like they're we're fucking mole men.
Fucking the high-tech mole men.
Like the tube should not be considered high-tech now. It's been around for longer than we have been alive.
The same is true for lots of things.
It's true. Yeah, but
so
District Lines, they're finished. It was cool. Like they both launched him into the air and sort of like turned it into a double power bomb. It was kind of cool. It looked good anyway. But Ospreay like surprisingly kicked out, and while he was surviving, but then the Riots won by hitting like a pop-up spear almost. Like one of them flung the other over the head, and then the other speared from behind. It was really cool.
I can't remember that. But
no, it looked good.
I can remember what happened after the match.
Oh, can you? After the match, Havoc came out in a right sleazy-looking suit.
Yes, he did. Little sleazeball.
And he said that he was looking to destroy anyone that like management cared about or fans cared about. Basically, just saying he wanted to like cause havoc, some would say. But basically, just being like a proper dickhead. And he pulled a fucking switchblade out.
He did, and also shouted, the audio guy to play his music, which was, of course, a nod to Reservoir Dogs, and Stuck in the Middle started playing.
And it was, like, the moment he pulled out the knife, I was so not expecting. And I don't know
I was legit scared,
like,
even though I know Will Ospreay's got 2 ears.
Yeah, like, I just, like, it was just a proper, like, mouth agape moment, wasn't it? It was crazy. Like, I was so not ready. It shocked me so much. It was really cool. Ospreay got, like, tied up to a chair and, like, bound with duct tape on, and they, were preparing to cut his shit right up. And but then some baby faces came to make the save.
Yeah, babyface Pete Dunne.
Babyface Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews and Eddie Dennis.
Tall. Rey Mysterio Jr.
Eddie Mysterio Jr. All came out to make the save. This was the moment where we realised that Pete Dunne was a face.
Yes. that was the moment.
That was so weird. But yeah, they came out to make the save and everything was okay. But like, one of my favourite parts, there's like a small bit after this where Will Ospreay was in the corner, like literally like panting and being fuck! Like he seemed so legitimately really terrified, and it was such a cool little, like, that made it seem all the more real, and that was really cool. Like, that whole segment was like awesome, and that whole match was awesome.
That entire match was just brilliant.
And then they had a segment after the match which was probably just as good, maybe better. Just that segment we just talked about was so cool. But no, that was really good. I think that was like the halfway point of the show, and they had like a break then, but we didn't see it because we didn't really see much of in between matches anyway because of the lack of camera. Next up, we had one of your favourites, El Ligero, taking on not one of your favourites, Tommy End.
Yeah, I don't like Tommy End.
You just don't find him very good, do you?
No, I've seen him in a couple of matches and he's never been great.
The match sort of started really slowly, but Ligero hit some of his cool sort of like offense that's hard to describe. Standard lucha-y,
Yeah, lucha-y nonsense.
Lucha-y nonsense that I'm not going to embarrass myself by describing.
Unlike Mauro Ronaldo.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. Quesadilla.
And I thought, like, this was a really weird match because for parts of it I thought everyone was, like, each of them were really good. Like, I really liked some of Ligero's moves. I liked some of Tommy End's, like, big strikes, and, like, he did a few sort of, like, surprisingly, like, flippy things and springboards. It was kind of cool. But at the same time, like, the match itself just didn't seem to connect. It was just kind of dull. It was really weird. But
it's a shame because I love El Ligero.
Yeah, but Gilbert pulled out El Ligero, and then there was like a disqualification, but they wanted to restart because both of them are baby faces. So they restarted, but then
Tommy End got like a sneaky roll up.
Tommy End hit like got him to tap out with the Dragon Sleeper, I think it was.
Did he? Oh yeah, no. Yeah. He went for like after they restarted. He went like he did a
roll up, but it wasn't quite over. But then he did he hit a Dragon Sleeper pretty soon after that, and Ligero like tapped or passed out or whatever. But then afterwards, Gilbert attacked El Ligero again.
Good old that Gilbert.
He just doesn't think. He thinks that Ligero's just not serious enough.
Lucha's not serious.
It's not. Lucha is not serious. But yeah, that match was really weirdly underwhelming.
It's a shame.
Which is a shame. Next up, we had a sort of semi-main event of Zack Sabre Jr. versus Prince Devitt, Mr. Finn Bala.
I was kind of looking forward to.
I thought this was a cool matchup because both of them are like. I've never really been that massively into either of them, but everyone else likes them.
Yeah.
Bala, I like more generally. I got more into him eventually, but like he was someone I kind of didn't get the buzz around initially.
Yeah, no, I didn't really get the buzz around.
And then Sabre Jr. is someone I still don't get the buzz around really. Yeah. I think he's good enough. I don't mind him, but like he's not like.
I like him when he's got a good opponent.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I wouldn't watch a match based on him. I'd watch a match based on who he's facing.
Yeah, totally. If you were going to like go out to look for a match anyway. Yeah, no, I see. I agree. Prince Devitt came out as Heath Ledger Joker,
which is awesome.
Yeah,
because it was like, was it Halloween or did you just fancy it?
I don't know. Finn Balor just seems to love painting himself. That seems to be one of his favourite activities. So, did
he actually pick? Because I was thinking
he painted himself when he was in the Indies. I'm pretty sure, like WWE make it happen a bit faster nowadays, but he used to paint himself every time, and he did it a lot still, and they were like just as intricate then as well.
Oh my god.
But like when he's got people at WWE though, I think I heard a story where he had to come in like 3 hours earlier than everyone else to get it done, even though there was like a team doing it.
Fucking hell.
So it's kind of like crazy and impressive, like
Jesus.
thing to be willing to do for your character. But it does like make him stand out a lot, to be fair.
Oh yeah. And I know Goldust eventually. I don't know if he started off doing it, but I know Goldust now does his own face paint.
That's cool. His is less intricate though.
Yeah.
It's just a star. Or like a vague pattern, a vague gold and black
You'd
pattern.
think, like, a lot of effort goes into it.
I bet it does,
before it actually gets rubbed off on the ring within the first 5 minutes. It doesn't seem like the best payoff.
No. Although his Prince Devitt's didn't come off particularly badly in this match, really.
No,
got a bit smeared, but just kind of looked cool as opposed to awful and gone. Nah, this match started really quickly with Devitt hitting a double stomp. Which I love his double stomps, and they're always horrible to watch.
Brutal, yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. was like able to kick out because it was so early. Zack Sabre Jr. worked his arm a lot, did this finger bending he likes to do, by also saying this little piggy went to market, and this little piggy went home.
I think I'd like Zack Sabre Jr. if he didn't speak.
Yeah, he's just a bit annoying.
You know, I've heard that he's not the only wizard that comes from England.
I fucking hate you.
You did your face.
I did do my face. I did my angry face. I hate Zack Sabre Jr.'s thing for that. That put me in such a foul place with Zack Sabre Jr. that I'm still not sure that I actually don't like him.
Yeah.
Or if it's just that one promo, or like most times he says things.
Yeah, no, I hate his promos. I hate it when he speaks. But I can appreciate he's got a fairly good talent.
Yeah, totally. Bala was really cool in this match. He was really like, I always forget how fluid he is. Like he moves between the ropes and climbs the ropes and stuff like that, just like so much quicker than most people, and it's so like it's really cool to watch. Like I kind of compare him to like Rey Mysterio in his like fluidity, where every move sort of blends together and it's not just like step by step by step. But I thought he looked really good in this match. This was one of the best Bala matches I've seen from his side anyway.
Yeah, me too.
They traded some really hard chops, which was awesome. Always fun.
God, Bala did like some brutal chops.
Oh yeah, he did, which was nasty. He also hit the double stomp on his back, but he sort of like fell. It looked like he fell a bit when he did it and hit him with like extra force. Yeah, which was crazy. But there was loads of Zack Sabre Jr. also hit a lot of arm bars and stuff, but Bala's like offense ended up being too much, and he hit the Bloody Sunday to finish,
which was brutal. Like I'm pretty sure it's been sort of like downplayed.
Like it certainly doesn't look like that anymore.
No.
But the crowd thanked both of them because obviously like there was no heel in that match.
Yeah, no, and like the announcer guy, who I think is the guy who owns it, or one of the guys who owns it.
One of the like high ups, yeah.
Yeah, came out and like praised them both. Was like, thank you.
Really
Anytime
cool.
you want to fight again, please do it here.
No, it was really cool. That was
awesome.
That was a really good match. Nice to see a bit of pre-WWE Bala.
Yeah, no, rather than like Bullet Club Bala.
Yeah,
which I think is around the same time, but
but it's nice to see solo Bala too. No, really cool. That was awesome. That was one of the better matches for certain. And to finish, we had Jimmy Havoc versus Mark Andrews in a ladder match.
So, I got the story when I was listening to the commentary.
Yeah.
And we watched this match at yours.
Mm-hmm.
First thing to mention, what do you think of the belt?
What belt?
Exactly. It's a fucking staff.
It's a staff. It's the Progress Wrestling Championship staff.
It's awesome.
It's so cool. It's so Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah. Like, I can't imagine Mark Andrews having that, because he said he had it for ages.
Yeah, I imagine he didn't have it as a staff. I imagine he had it as a standard belt.
No, I think it's a staff. Like, I don't know. We'll have to research this.
It's definitely a normal belt now.
Oh.
I know that much. I kind of assumed it was Havoc having a reign of terror, which involved him being like, fuck having a belt, I want a staff because I'm a fucking goth.
Yeah. But then, like, they had, rather than, because they couldn't suspend the staff above the ring, or the belt, because there wasn't any,
'Cause there wasn't one.
They suspended a clipboard with the words "I owe you one title" on it.
Which you enjoyed.
Which it seemed very Simpson-esque.
Yeah, no, that was cool. It also made sense though.
Yeah. Because
you couldn't have a fucking staff up there and do the sort of near unclips, it'd just fall or something. But no, this was really cool. Mark Andrews is awesome. I always forget how good Mark Andrews is because I kind of think he seems like he's going to be bland.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, because nothing about him is bland, but I'm always like, oh, it's just Mark Andrews, this is going to be fine, and then like he has like the best matches.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
It's
like
really
I always forget how good he is before I actually watch one of his matches.
Yeah. No. He was really cool. Like the match started with a lot of like Hurricane Ranas and suicide dives and everything. Unfortunately, one of the things that took away from this match, at least for the start of it, was the shitty ladder. One of the ladders was especially shit. There was 2 ladders in this match, and the second one was shit. It was still very shit, but it didn't really take away from the wrestling. But the first ladder was so badly put together and had so few rungs on the right sides and stuff that it actually took the wrestlers a long time to set up a couple of times, and it kind of like slowed the match down and
it was proper shit.
Made the enjoyment a bit less. But it was like a stumpier ladder with no rungs on one side and that just seemed flimsy and awful. No, that was really annoying. But that ladder didn't last long because there was a running corner powerbomb through that ladder.
Yes, there was. Ouch.
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 Mark Andrews also afterwards, like a ways after that, hit a sort of like a side effect through a table on the outside, which was really cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of tables got used in this match. They got the roughly better ladder out next though. It still wasn't a great ladder, but it didn't seem to cause like interference with how shit it was at least.
I don't know when British wrestling gets their ladders. Just
I really don't.
B&Q.
It's awful.
Get a fucking better one.
We need to get better.
Some dickhead hit the keyboard, so
that wasn't me.
We'll have to jump right back into pretty much roughly where we are. I don't know where we were. But
we just that was me. I'm a dickhead.
Yeah, who's the dickhead?
I'm a dickhead.
Yeah,
that's me.
You're the dickhead.
So we were talking about like all the ladder being a bit shit, but a bit better at least than the last one. I also wanted to mention how much Havoc was hated by literally everyone. Like, the crowd fucking hated Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
apart
a
from
bastard.
Like 2 people.
Apart from 2 people. And in all fairness, he was awesome as well. But
yeah. But, like, I think, like, they said that he was, like, a mega face, and then, like, he
had, like, a big fall from grace. Yeah, it's really weird.
And Mark Andrews was, like, a big face as well, so, obviously...
No, it sounds like a cool. It sounds like a cool way to do it. To have him as being like this really loses all the time baby face and like changes it entirely. No, it was really. It sounds like a cool story, and like I might have to try and find out more about that at some point when we are more up to date with other other wrestling. Things. Yeah, but no, that's But he was really hated, and it was really cool. There were a lot of nasty chair shots that were very close to being unprotected in this match.
Yeah.
A thing that seems to happen a lot in British indie wrestling when they want to make chair shots look as close to unprotected as possible is that they throw it and have a hand up at the very, very last second.
Yeah, no, it's pretty artful, I guess.
Yeah.
To make it look like an unprotected
chair shot. It's so crazy. But no, they look so nasty. This was basically a TLC match, really. Like, yeah, it was supposed to be a ladder match, but like they used every one of the standard props.
TL and a C.
They did. They used them all. Havoc was really cool in that like he'd hit some really big moves. Like one of them was like a powerbomb off the apron through a table, which was brutal and awful. But like every time he was climbing the ladder, he'd probably be staring at where Mark Andrews was, and it would just literally be like, "I'm not going to climb unless you are entirely dead."
Yeah. He did climb up halfway and then jump off a couple of times.
Yeah, he did. He'd just take 2 steps and be like, "Oh, he's moving. Never mind." And it was kind of a cool way to protect himself while also like coming across as being
sense.
Coming across as like actually methodical. No, I really liked that about him though. It was a really cool thing that he did. Unfortunately, next up in the match though, we went to the stage cameras or the lack thereof.
Yes.
basically, I'm not going to describe this part in much detail because you couldn't really see that much of what was going on. But basically, they went onto the like entrance rampy stage area. There was a table set up. Havoc was gonna put Mark Andrews through it to try and win, but Mark Andrews sort of like reversed something and ended up hitting like a big like rolling swanton off the stage through the table, and it looked really cool from what you could see, but it wasn't that much of what you could see.
Fucking tell what was going on.
I actually think that if they were on the fence about if they were going to be making this free or not, I imagine this would have been the part where you went, yeah, okay, can't do it.
Yeah.
Because that was not okay. No, which is a shame, but I mean, you get it for free, so you really can't complain. And the whole show has been awesome.
It's been so good.
Yeah, we really, really enjoyed this. But no, this was that one spot anyway. They basically, what happened next though was the London Riots came out.
They did. Fucking
to be bastards.
Tubers.
He was trying to stopped Mark Andrews from like climbing the ladder to win, and were beating the shit out of him. And then Eddie Dennis and Pete Dunne came out, everyone's favourite baby faces, to come help.
They did.
They beat up the Riots a lot, which was cool. Mark Andrews though could have won. He was climbing that ladder.
Oh, but he didn't, did he?
But he didn't.
He decided to jump off it.
He wanted to help his friends.
Right from the top onto them.
Onto them all. It was a cool spot, but like, and
it was insane. Jesus,
it was such a big fucking flight, man.
It was probably like not as big as American ladders or like some of the shit you see in WWE, but with it being an indie show, it just looked so much bigger.
Oh, it looked huge, and I think the camera angles helped as well, as opposed to like hindering it looking like just sort of normal from the hard cam. But no, it was really cool. Massive spot. I actually like. Sometimes I don't like it when baby faces are stupid and don't win, but at least in this case there was like the friendship angle as well. Like I still could have maybe grabbed the contract and then dived.
Yeah. But
like at the very least it made more sense than some of the finishes, like the Trent Seven finish.
Yeah, oh god.
Punching Wolfie. You'll have heard us talk about that a couple of times now.
Yeah. My boy Trent.
Your boy.
My boy.
Your bae, some would say.
No, that's Lulu. Not Lewis Gavin.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that he was your bae, but not you. But your other was your boy. I didn't know you had such a distinct set of rules for that.
Well, yeah, no, well.
That makes sense.
You've got to.
Because of Mark Andrews not winning there, though, it unfortunately that meant that he ended up losing the match when Rat Boy Paul Robinson came out again.
Oh, he did. He came back out.
He came back again.
Little rat boy.
When Mark Andrews was going to win. What was really cool about this, something I really enjoyed about this, was that Havoc was climbing the ladder to win, while Paul Robinson was literally hitting Mark Andrews with a chair repeatedly. Like, he didn't stop once, he was just hitting him on the back repeatedly while Havoc went up the ladder. So it was 100% no one's going to save you, and extra safe for Havoc, who was just like making sure that nothing could ever go wrong, and it was like the perfect heel win.
It was really
Havoc
cool.
seems to be like the perfect heel, to be fair. He's really good at it. He's like dark and gross and like uses like chicken shit tactics, but is also kind of a badass and will pull a knife if you want. And
yeah, or if you consider pulling knives badass.
Yeah. Which makes it all the more weird that on Fight Club he was a babyface.
Yeah.
Really weird.
So weird.
But no, I really like Jimmy Havoc. I really like this match. He was kind of like the standout of this whole show to me, though. He was like the talent who I watched in this entire thing and was like, you're the like the person I want to see more of the most.
Yeah, no, me too. And I don't know if that's just because this was my first exposure to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I felt the same pretty much.
Yeah. Although he does seem a bit more 2004 Miles.
Fuck you. I've not been as hard and fast with the C word since we started recording.
You haven't. You were all over it before.
I was.
So that was the end of the pay-per-view, really.
Ooh.
Havoc winning and standing tall after a night of...
Oh, we hit him with the staff a couple of times, didn't he, as well?
Oh, yeah,
after
he did.
Got brought out.
Of course he did. Yeah. So, yeah, what did you think of Progress overall?
I really, really enjoyed it.
I thought this was such a cool show, man.
Like, the quality was proper good, even considering that they're giving it away for free because the main camera broke.
No, it didn't. It didn't ruin it at all.
Didn't ruin it at all, and it still looks a lot better than some other promotions out there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I'm looking forward to seeing like newer progress with better cameras and all of them working.
I'm really excited to see more progress.
Me too.
I think they're going to be one of our favourites because everything about them just seems awesome.
It does seem awesome.
So I'm excited, but we're not going to be covering that for a while, unfortunately. But we will. We'll get there. I was going to ask you for your favourite and least favourite matches, which feels like it's a harsh question when you haven't watched it for a month, but favourite match, least favourite?
Well, it was initially the tag team match, but because I watched the Jimmy Havoc one like twice, like I watched it back at yours quite recently, I want to maybe say that edges it out. Yeah. Just slightly, and I don't know if that's just because it's the most recent.
Really cool. Like they're definitely awesome. The two standout matches that I'd say from this pay-per-view, which is crazy to say that we also had Prince Devitt and Zack Sabre Jr., which you'd think would be and that is the next closest contender, I reckon. But
like, do you not find it weird that this was what, like 3-4 years ago?
I think it was just over two and a half maybe. Hell.
And like you've got all this talent that we see like weekly and like again big pushes and or like in WWE and the Universal Champion or whatever. Like compared to where they were 2 years ago,
crazy.
Finn Bala wasn't even main eventing.
Really cool. It's really cool to see
a little indie show.
No, it was really weird to see all that.
Dunne was a babyface, like a mid-card babyface.
Mark Andrews was basically the same, really.
Like, if anything, he's had less of a push.
Yeah, so far.
In the years since.
At least from what we've seen. But no, this was really cool. My favourite. I think I have to say the tag match was my favourite. Cool. It was just really cool and hectic, and basically, because I'm picking the tag match, I'm kind of cheating and adding the post-match segment where he pulled a knife as well, which was my favourite sort of overall bit of the show.
That was fucking awesome.
Because I just was not expecting that, and it was really cool. It's like, you don't get shocked that much watching wrestling, so I enjoyed that loads. Worst match?
I can't really remember.
El Ligero and Tommy End was probably it for me.
Yeah,
I'm stilted.
Not a fan of Tommy End. I think he brought the entire thing down, and it wasn't El Ligero's strongest match as well.
No. I don't think anything else really stands out as being as close to as bad as that.
It's definitively
the Eddie Dennis and Michel Gilbert one got a little slow in the end, but like I didn't hate it because of it, and there was enough cool stuff that was going on earlier that I didn't mind. But no, I think that was it, really. So, next week we're going to be covering True Legacy. The one that's not been recent. The one that's not like last week. The one that was like 4 months ago. Yeah, we are fairly behind with What Culture, but there's not that much more to watch after this. So we're probably going to be doing a lot of What Culture. Yeah, powering through. So the week after we'll probably cover Delete. WCPW. The week after that we might even have caught up enough to do Kirby Mania and a few other really recent this year pay-per-views. So awesome. We'll power through that. We'll be up to date with that and ICW, so we can talk about all those sort of shows regularly, and then we'll be updated with ICW and I'll be updated with What Culture. Although to be honest, I'll probably watch all of them when we're actually up to date. But me too. No. But I mean until we're current filled in. But no, we'll keep doing that. We'll get up to date with more programs. We'll indeed see what we can do. But if you want to catch us before the next episode, you're welcome to tweet us at FishChipsWhips. I promise I won't be offensive to you. He might be. Well, yeah. If you've got Down syndrome, he will be. That's not entirely untrue. Or if you're of a different race, he might be. Not also untrue. I'll be nice to you. I promise. I'll be nice to you if you tweet at FishChips and I can't promise I won't be offensive if you don't tweet at FishChips and Whips. At FishChips Whips. Sorry, I added an and then. Ignore that. Ignore the and. We're on Gmail, fishchipswhips@gmail.com. If you fancy sending us an email, I'll see that. I'll read it.
He takes dick pics.
I don't take dick pics. I'd need a bloody good camera to get any sort of recognition.
That's true.
And yeah, you can rate us on iTunes or wherever you found this. That'd be really bloody helpful.
Really bloody helpful.
Tell your friends that to listen to this abomination. Hey, why don't you listen to this podcast? Don't tell any of your friends who might be offended. Just tell the ones who are all right with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, but before then, I guess there's only one thing left to do, and basically, I'm gonna shoehorn it in when I'm on holiday, so you get time to think of a song.
Yeah, I've got the song ready.
Take us home, while, and here comes a different audio quality.
It is. It'll be different, and it will sound probably worse.
Probably.
Usually worse.
Usually.
So that'll be fun for you.
Yeah. Take us home, while.
Okay, so the song that I definitely did very, very early and didn't wait till the very last minute to record is going to actually be the Sugar Babes this time, instead of just a lie, instead of just a barefaced misspelt lie. So enjoy your final song of Girl Band Month. I know, it's so sad that it's over, but don't worry, because I'm sure there'll be another brilliant month soon, because there kind of has to be. Right, from the top, everybody. I'm busy throwing hints that he keeps missing. Don't wanna think about it, I wanna kiss and everything around it, but he's too distant. I wanna feel his body, I can't resist it. I know my hidden looks can be deceiving, but how obvious should a girl be? I was taken by the early conversation piece, and I really like the way that he respects me. I've been waiting patiently for him to come and get it. I wonder if he knows that he can say it, and I'm with it. I knew I had my mind made up from the very beginning. Catch this opportunity so you and me can feel it, 'cause if you're ready for me, boy, you better push the button and let me know before I get the wrong idea and go. You're gonna miss the freak that I control. Until next week, losers. I should probably stop the recording now. Sorry, losers. I'm busy throwing hints that he keeps missing. Don't have to think about it, I wanna kiss and everything around it, but he's too distant. I wanna feel it. This is awful. Shut up, Charlie. Shut up. You can edit around this. You can't just whinge when I sing. It's really fucking annoying.
Because it's exciting, because normally you get to dance with you.
Well, he doesn't get to dance with me now.
It's true.
I know it is, dick. Right, let's try that again. Maybe this time don't be a dick. I'm busy throwing hints that he keeps missing. Don't have to think about it, I wanna kiss and everything around it, but he's too distant. I wanna Right. Right. Right.
Put him in the kitchen.
Put him in the kitchen?
Yeah.
He'll be alright.
I'll put him upstairs, just put him somewhere.
You're going somewhere, Sonny.
Sunny Jim.
Sonny Jim.
Are you going to pause this?